Welcome, everybody, to episode number 3, season 1 of Tech Shop Coffee Talk with your host, Ross and Bruce. And today we're going to talk about health and tech stuff and whatever road we go down, whatever we bump into as we talk away. Now, please click, share, and subscribe to this channel. And also too, in the comment below, please, one of us has an accent. I would ask you to comment below which one. A lot of people shouldn't recognize which one it is. I'd like you just to clarify and agree with me who has the accent would be appreciated. So put that in the comments below. And over to you, Ross.
Hey, Bruce, thanks. Great to speak with you this week. And everybody else too. A couple things. One, go take a second, go get your cup of coffee. Let's sit down and let's talk. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a great time. And just know that we hope to bring value here, and that's our game plan. We want you to take away something today from of the talk that's going to go on here today. Every part of it may not be for you. Every part of it may not hit home for you. But find the piece that you can take with you on your journey and take it where you go. That's why it's Tech Talk. And, where does the Tech Talk come? Bruce and I are in the tech field. And that's the way we think, the way we operate, and we're all different. And that's the fun and the beauty of it. And with that being said, and I know in your field, sure, Bruce, how important it is to positive thinking. Positive thinking goes along in the safety side of things too.
Oh, definitely.
Very strongly. We were just chatting here a little bit before we started on safety and what happens and some of the things that can occur in our fields and some of the things are really dangerous. And positive thinking goes with that too. But Bruce, what's going on in your life this week? And bring some tidbits.
Well, last night, I'm glad I had my healthy coffee with me at work. I'm not going to drink it now because I have to get up at 5 in the morning and do a major road trip tomorrow. So I've already maxed out on my coffee. But real quick, last week I had a digital TV transmitter go kabang on me. And basically, the contactor is a 3-phase contactor. So after your breaker, you have your all 3 phases at 208 coming in.
Very familiar.
And then we have a relay that pulls her in, and then it goes onto your circuit. And that contactor is kind of protection. If losing one of your phases or something, it doesn't burn it all up. Anyway, on them contactors, you got these little turns. Well, they're not little; they're quite big turn screws. And that loose wire you put in there, you got to make sure she's tight.
Yep.
And one of them phases, I guess the little post wasn't down all the way. And anyway, I went in there in the morning, and my transmitter was coughing and sputtering and stuff. And I turned it off and take a look behind, and sure enough, one of them phases burnt right off, arc welded off. So we usually run that at 9,000 watts, but they wanted us to stay on the air. So that one contactor took out 3,000 watts. So I was down to, doing the easy numbers, I was down to 6,000 watts. So they said, just turn off the breaker on that one and just keep her going. So I did that, and then ran her for another couple of days like that. And lo and behold, I burnt out another contactor.
Oh, no.
I came in a few days later. So anyway, so all said, but I had to order wire and stuff because I didn't have that kind of, you can't just.
That's a great example, Bruce, of energy.
Yeah. Deadly energy.
Yeah, and at the same time, controlled, it does great things. And having that high energy, your connection point is crucial. That's connection and feed and amperage and everything that goes through there. And when connection is made right, your energy level's high. When your energy level's high, your frequency's high, right?
Correct.
And when that energy level's low, your frequency's low, right?
Um,
Or lower.
well, basically, when you have the three, it's all balanced. We live in a world of balance.
Okay.
So if you have three phases coming in, and you all of a sudden you take one of those phases, the other two phases are trying to make up for the difference, and what they're trying to do is complete the circuit
And you lose
in
your
your devices that it's tied to.
Mm-hmm.
So rather than it's all balanced and working nicely, all of a sudden these two, you're really hitting your stuff hard, and you actually could blow up everything. So rather than cost you a contactor, it could cost you $4,000 or $5,000 per module.
So just like us,
Yeah.
eating right,
Correct.
exercising right,
Yeah.
Personal development right,
Correct.
positive thinking right. All of these
Correct.
things boost our frequency through our energy levels.
Well, what I'm going to say that a different way.
Okay.
If you have it all balanced and proper.
Correct. Balance.
If you just eat fast food and exercise, it ain't going to work. If you eat really, really healthy, but you have a very, very negative mindset, it doesn't work. Whereas what it all has to be balanced. And a lot of people, they fall down a lot of areas, and really what it comes down to, even under a stressful circumstance like that, when it's broken, you have people calling and want you to fix it, and they want it fixed yesterday, not today.
Right.
So
right.
your stress level can go from 0 to 100 real quick.
So,
but
in
go ahead.
Putting that into nutritional terms, Bruce.
Yeah.
The ganodermal mushroom that's in the coffee.
Yeah.
What does that do?
It helps your body. I find taking the coffee. So last night I got called in after I repaired all this stuff. About 12 hours later, it came knocking again, but this time the breaker is kicking off, and I troubleshoot down to when I had 4 big number 6 gauge wires burn up on me. All that smoke had to go somewhere, and it lodged in the filter, and the filter was all that soot and stuff was causing the fan to overheat and was kicking off the breaker. But what I did is when I went in, I stopped, I turned off the unit, put on the standby. First thing I did is I went and sat down. I went and logged into the device and looked at the history, and brewed myself a coffee right away, because I don't want to be half asleep. When you're there working on 3-phase power, which you got to be alert. You got to be in your game.
Sure.
You can't be depressed. You can't be thinking about money problems or drug problems or gambling problems, or I don't have any of those problems, but you have to be in a very healthy mindset, and you got to first of all believe, saying, I believe I'm going to be able to fix this.
And that's what we call our tech mindset.
Yeah, and you say, okay, well, it broke. So then you get out the manual, and you start looking it through and say, okay, it's got to be something simple. And then you get the coffee, you sit down, and you go through the history log and stuff, and that gives you the clues. And reading the manual between those two, you can come up with the solution.
So
and
it's important to have healthy coffee then.
It's very important to, in any job, if you need your wits, I can't think of a job where you don't need to take the most powerful tool you have. Troubleshooting tool is right here. If you're alert and awake and positive thinking, you can sort out any problem. You may not have the resources yourself, so there's creative ways to come up with a solution. But if push comes to shove, you will figure out the solution.
And thinking is everything in that process.
Yeah, if you just like anything in life, if you're depressed and down and you go, well, I don't know how to fix it. People that don't have a positive mindset, they're afraid to ask other people for help.
They're petrified. They're
going to go in circles. They're stuck. So they're going to say, well, I'm not going to tell someone. I'm just going to quietly put my screwdriver in there under high voltage, and then all of a sudden, if they're lucky, they just blow off their fingers if
Wonder
they're really bad.
why the energy bit back at them.
Well, actually, some of that stuff is lethal. Just because we're tech talk here, do you know what the lowest voltage is registered for ever electrocuting somebody is?
The lowest voltage? I can't
Yes,
say, but I mean, when you talk lowest voltage of electrocuting, 110 volts is what everybody's around. That's one of the worst that you can deal with.
52 volts DC is the lowest on record voltage of electrocuting something. That was on a battery bank. Okay.
And DC carries if I believe correctly, carries an amperage with it too.
Well, AC goes, it's on and then it's off every 60 cycles. Whereas DC, it's unlimited current. You turn it on, it's like water. It doesn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
So DC is more lethal. But I was surprised that it's only 52 volts DC because a lot of people have no fear when they work around, under 100 volts. They think, oh, I'm safe. No.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, working on a 120 volt plug-in is less dangerous than working on a 50 volt battery bank, DC solar battery bank. So
crazy.
But without the proper knowledge, you don't, being part of being safe is educating yourself.
Very, very true.
And that kind of comes back to another thing. You can either have an easy life now and struggle the rest of your life,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't go to college. You're taking it easy, but you're gonna have a hard time the rest of your life. Or you can go to college or learn a trade and really struggle. At the beginning you have to struggle and get over that. But once you get to a certain peak, you've learned all that, then life becomes easier and easier.
Yes, and it can. But there's in that education side of it too, Bruce.
Yep.
As you and I both are learning now in our later years.
Yes.
I went to college for 4 years, and I know that you've got schooling background. I can't say that I know what that is yet. I don't know if you've got a tech degree or you've got 4-year degree.
Yeah, I took I have a 2-year degree or 2-year college diploma. Okay. So whereas like in a lot of trades, you go for 4 years. You're out there. They pay you a percentage every year until you go and write all the exams every year. Where I went, I took actually 8 months of 6 hours a day of schooling.
And you paid dearly for that, didn't you?
Yeah. Back that was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
But yes.
And it was expensive then,
Yes.
And I'm sure you, as well as we both, and I know hundreds of thousands of people out there now, the debt ratio for college loans and college students and all getting that education is just through the roof.
Yeah.
And so much through the roof that kids are not coming out of school with good paying jobs.
Yeah.
To offset the training and education that we got. We're getting a dumbed down America, a dumbed down not just America, but a national society from people just because some of them are coming out highly educated and can't get the jobs, and some are coming out not even finishing school because of the cost of that so high. And that kind of leads us to why you and I are here at Tech Talk Coffee Shop today.
We're trying to give people options while they're number one, you need to feed yourself and clothe yourself. So number one is, I can guarantee, people say, oh, I need money. They pray and stuff. And it's like, you know what? The quickest way to get money is go get a job. 2 weeks from here on in, if you're working, you're going to get money. It may not be a lot. Can be enough to sustain you. So you have an immediate plan. You should have a short-term plan and a long-term plan. Your long-term plan is what you and me are kind of talking about. This is something you can do in the background. Start building a plan to get out of that the 2-week cycle.
Yes, and it's you're calling it a plan there. It's creating a residual income.
Yes.
And creating a residual income, you can build and grow quicker and faster than what you can do by going to the 14,000 hours of schooling from a kid all the way up through into your college years with a specialized degree.
Yeah.
And roll out with even a decent paying job, but you
Yeah.
got all the debt falling behind it. And
Yes.
working in this industry, that residual income, you get paid over and over and over again. You know, when you come out of school and education, you're okay. You're in the tech field. Okay.
Yes.
You went out and fixed a contactor last night.
Yes.
You got paid to go fix the contactor.
A time and a half.
Do you get paid tomorrow for that contactor working?
No.
No. And see, that's where the residual comes in.
I get paid if it breaks.
Understand?
but we won't go there.
But
Yeah.
getting paid for that contactor to go in and getting paid for that to pull in every time and operate, that's residual. And
yes.
that's where your residual comes in. You're going to go out and do that one time.
Yeah.
And you're going to reap the rewards from that effort and that energy that you expel one time over and over and over again for years to come. And that's where you can make a better income in this type of an industry.
It's like planting an apple tree. Once you plant an apple tree, you water it, you let it grow, you take care of it. Once it starts to really grow, you'll get apples every year. You don't have to do any more work. It just keeps, that's, that residual. Once you do the work at the start, there's a lot of work at the start.
Yep.
But down the road, your generations can eat apples from that tree.
And not only that, funny that you brought up apples. It reminds me of the old saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away.
That's profound, yes.
That is just awesome. But
whereas they're saying a Big Mac a day is probably going to get you in the hospital very soon.
Oh, very much. I just seen a post this week. Actually, it was just this afternoon. It's actually a high school friend of mine that I went to school with. Kind of a different cat, but he posted about one of the old Coney Islands that was back home where we grew up.
Yeah.
And that Coney Island, great food. We all love Coney dogs, right?
Sounds good.
We've all been to the ballpark. We eat Coney dogs. Who does it, right? It's baseball, hot dogs, and apple pie, Chevrolet, right?
Yeah, that's America.
Well, his comment is he downed 6 of the Coney Island dogs and something else with it, and his simple little comment is it was good and it was great and fun while it lasted, but he said so much for the diet that I was on.
Oh wow, 6 dogs? I couldn't even eat one. Some of those dogs are so big.
Yeah, the moment on the lips is definitely a lifetime on the hips.
And that's the thing is, this is the awkward truth we need to talk about. 50% of people in the States and 50% of Canadians are overweight. And when I say overweight, if we talked 20 years ago, we would call that overweight obese.
Yes.
And, they're making size, I don't know, we're at 65 or 70. You can get, the belt's insane.
Oh yeah. And it's by far more than 50%, Bruce. It's much higher than that.
You realize that there's 300 diseases that come from being obese.
Well, the diseases all come from the gut.
But they're curable if they just lose that weight. So there's a lot of diseases they have that are costing the healthcare system. If you're in Canada, it is free, but we pay for it in our taxes. So I pay higher taxes than Ross does. So is it really free versus you pay Medicaid? We won't go there, but
it's all government. And you're going to pay for it one way or another.
It costs you to be unhealthy. I know when you smoke, they tax the cigarettes, or when you drink beer, they tax that, or even when you go buy a Big Mac, there is a health tax in that one way or the other. But still, when you're 50 and you look 70, there's something wrong.
Oh yeah, yeah, majorly wrong.
And so, you know, the problem is a lot of people, they don't understand that there is better ways to change your life, and it starts with a balance. You got to start with a good mindset. You got to be positive.
A little
You
bit
got to
of
start hanging around good people like Ross that are a good influence on you. People
little,
that want to be healthy, ride their bikes, and exercise. Also, he's really smart, technical too, and also too, he does want to eat and have a better lifestyle.
thanks, Bruce. Appreciate that. That's I'll take that. That's a great compliment. Really.
Like this
Thank you.
morning. So last night they called me in. I went in at 9 p.m. I had my healthy Gamma Derma coffee, and that took off the edge, and it sustained me till 2 in the morning by the time I got home. And then I had a very power mega sleep for 2.5 hours,
And
and then
that coffee didn't give you that drop off edge either. Of that.
no, but I was so tired when I came home. I closed my eyes, went to sleep.
Oh, you were
When I
ready to
woke
go,
up,
dude.
I 2.5 hours. Usually, I only take half of the moringa. I took a full package this morning, mixed her up, and drank that. And I didn't have a hangover all day. You know how you have the 2.5 hour. You
Oh,
usually oh, I gotta have like
there was a
six
time,
coffees.
yeah, it used to be. Yep, I remember those days.
Okay, well, getting up, it was a little bit hurting. I drank that moringa, and then it took about half an hour to an hour for that to sink in. And yes, I did go get some other carbs to give me some energy too, because when you're going on little sleep, you do need carbs to keep going.
Yep, yep.
But I only had 2 coffees today. Usually, people with 2 hours sleep would have 5, 6 coffees and be cranky. And I haven't, even when I got off work, I haven't even napped yet, because
That's awesome.
after I do this, I want to regulate my sleep cycle, because I'm getting up at 4:45, 5 o'clock in the morning. Got to get in the truck and go. So I gotta balance her out there.
Well, I'm like you outside in the heat all day.
Yeah,
I drink two of the moringa drinks, and that keeps me going. And not only that, but because of drinking those, it's kind of weird. If I don't drink two of those a day, Bruce,
yeah.
um, I have to drink 3 times as much water. And
That's interesting.
like
It
yesterday,
just, you don't sweat it. You don't sweat it as much, I guess.
I don't sweat it out as much, and
Wow.
it helps to maintain. And
Yeah.
like yesterday, my day started at a little before 8, and I finished at well, it's kind of funny. I finished at 7 o'clock last night, laying underneath of an ambulance, working on an area on a
Oh
unit,
wow.
not
Yeah,
not
yeah,
not being picked up, but laying underneath of it. And but and that
yeah,
was we were running 100, right at 100 degrees with about 105 to 110 heat index. And the day was wicked, and I mean it was one of the worst ones. And I went home. Yeah, was I
yeah,
beat? Was I tired? Yeah, it's been a long day.
yeah,
Us. And in the heat,
yeah,
and I did my regular routine, get my liquids put back in and maintain, but I didn't have to do as much liquids. And usually a day like that, the next
yeah,
morning, it's like rolling out of bed is not the fun thing to do.
yeah.
But
I find too
I'm
with
rolling out and I'm on top of it and we're rolling. It's all good. And I can do it on a second day.
and I notice too with moringa, it helps your mind. Like when it comes to thinking problems and stuff, it's like you can just zoom in on it
Yep.
and just fine tune it, and it's you know how they talk about that movie. I know, if you take the pill, it makes you smarter.
Yeah.
In some ways,
Kind of the
the
placebo
moringa,
effect, you mean?
yeah. Whereas the moringa, I do find, I do think a lot clearly. Like I think, I can think in circles in a lot of ways when I'm with the moringa. So
Yeah. And there's a lot of other berries and extracts and things in that drink too that are
that
mind,
definitely helps.
blood thinning, or not blood thinning, but creating healthy blood in your system too.
Well, actually, I hear vodka helps thin your blood too.
I thought that was the heater for up north.
Well, in Russia, I know people don't freeze to death when they fall in the snow. If they got lots of vodka, they stay warm. So.
I'm sure they'd have to have their 100 proof, no doubt.
But a minor thing is vodka is very hard on your liver. Your liver just can't handle it. So, like say back to that, people that drink, severe drinking, like my grandparents. I watched 3 of my 4 grandparents drink themselves to an early grave, and their quality of life went down so quick at the end. It's just disturbing.
Well, and I, you know what, Bruce, I don't know what you're referencing when you say early.
70s.
70s. Okay, I lost my mom early's in the 50s, 54,
Oh wow.
with
Yeah.
cancer, and
Yeah.
and that's kind of what got my mindset changed, seeing
Yeah.
her go through that and how she fought it, and then later on, Dad at 74,
Yeah.
with the cancer also, and I'm high.
Wow.
I come from a family highly prone for that.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody else, we don't want it. Nobody wants it. Nobody nobody plans on getting it. But there are things that we can do to
Yeah.
ward it off. It's in everybody. It's not something that you get. It is in
Yeah.
everybody. It's
It's how you abuse your body.
it's how you abuse your body that releases it to get it started. And
Now, yeah,
so
smoking, drinking, being overweight, and stress are all huge factors.
and the stress is there was a really neat saying, and I wish I would have wrote it down.
Yeah.
um, Stress is the number one cause to health disease.
Yeah.
Health disease is or the number the okay health and disease is the number one result of stress.
Stress. Yeah. A breakdown in your health causes
A breakdown
disease
of
from
health
stress.
from stress.
Yeah.
The number one factor to stress is lack of money. So solve your money
So you're
problem.
saying, so hold on, you're saying the number one stress isn't do I drive the Maserati today, or the Tesla, or the BMW, or the Benz? You're saying that's not one of the stresses?
No.
Oh, okay.
So you're all good there. So choose which one you want and drive happily.
Well, but is it summer or winter? No, we won't go there. But no, understand.
But the,
Oh,
but the money is the number one route to stress, and
yeah.
stress goes into the disease side of it, goes into the cancer side of it. And
And like it says in the Bible,
so solve your money problem,
yeah.
and
Well,
that's where residual income comes in. That's extra income, whether you're doing it part time, full time, or as a sideline gig. You can create that residual income and improve your money situations,
yeah,
which then can improve your mental state, which can
yeah.
improve your stress level, which can improve your health level. And it's a trickle down effect in that aspect.
See, a lot of people they get stuck because they don't have a plan. So their plan is for Friday. Am I going to get the 6 pack of beer, or am I going to go for the hard liquor? What am I going to do? And they go into a cycle, just like it says in Proverbs.
There are.
The poor drink wine to forget their misery, whereas a king, like people like Ross and me, we think like kings. We don't need to go and slam down a 6 pack every Friday, because we're dreaming, we're thinking big, we're dreaming about how we're going to take over the kingdoms and increase and grow and build and build and think. That comes down to a mindset.
And
But
and in that mindset, Bruce,
yeah,
just to clarify here for both of us, I like your analogy there in the kingdom, but at the
yeah,
same time, we got to be careful. We're not thinking in the kingdom of I'm the king, or I'm bigger or better or greater. We're just two average guys
yeah,
at tech shop coffee. All right.
Yeah.
And as even though we're thinking like kings, we want to be like kings to help people to do better.
We
And
want we want to be an example and show them a better way
yes,
to
and walk that walk
stay thin and healthy, stress free, and live life
to
to the
abundance.
full capacity.
Yes,
Yeah.
and just I want to be clear on that because you know we're both giving hearts. We both want to help people. We both
Yes.
want to see things go, and you're tied into um, other countries,
Yes.
and you have seen third world country conditions. I have seen small bits of third world country, and familiar with it. I've been on mission trips that I've seen parts of that, and that's a small part of the world.
Yeah.
Outside of the third world country side of it, we got it just on the street from us.
Yeah.
And people don't realize it's in our own backyard. That
Well, here in Calgary, because of the loss of oil and gas,
Mhm.
so in a city of 1 million people, we have, I believe it's more than 6,000 homeless people in Calgary right now.
Wow,
And some of those people are homeless with children.
and that's just it's so sad when there's some programs out there that are just so simple
Yeah.
that they could do it, you know.
Yeah.
But it goes back to, um, I'm sure that all those homeless people are
Yeah.
there because of a thought, or
Yes.
they're there because of a mindset, or they're there because of a tragic condition in their life. And if you correlate all of those, it all goes back to a thinking process of
I agree with that. I
of
agree with that.
of how you
And even,
think. And I gotta, there's a if I can pull it up here, I'm gonna grab
yeah,
it. Um, there's a
thinking is the most powerful thing you can do.
Oh yeah, what you think about in your life and your business
You will become.
is the first of all is the first essential part of success, of
Yes.
what you think about. But um, there's a yeah, here's the neat one that I found. What you talk about,
Yeah.
and you what you talk about is what you will multiply.
Yes.
Okay, so you know on a negative, if you take that to a negative side, and I'm not going
Yeah.
to go there, but just a reference, on a negative side, you start talking negatively, you're going to multiply that negativity.
I have people. I've seen people go down that road, and
And
they don't understand what it snowballs.
when I started my business many years ago, um,
Yeah.
there was a saying in the start of the business: um, take care of each and every customer.
Hmm.
Each and every satisfied customer will talk to anywhere from 3 to 15 people. Okay,
That's free advertising.
and it is, and they will talk forward on the positive note.
Yeah.
One unhappy customer will talk to 200 people. It just goes to show
Yeah.
how we live in, and we are surrounded by a negative world, and
Yeah.
negativity is everywhere. It's upon us, and you've got to stay in a sharp mind. You got to have a healthy mind to stay in a positive mindset, to maintain that.
And you have people. You have you know half the battle is, okay. You're overweight right now. You're stressed. You're tired. You wish you had more money. So a lot of people, rather than go for that walk, they sit down and turn on the television and zone out for 4 hours and eat their Doritos. And that's
Yeah, I was a
very,
couch
very
potato.
unhealthy.
I was a couch potato, becoming a couch potato. That's what got me even more on my path. I had to stand up off the couch one day and walk out and shut the TV off and said, I'm done. I'm walking
Yeah.
away from it. And I'm going to tell you right now, Bruce, if you would have asked me 6 years ago
Yeah.
if I'd ever be on a computer talking to anybody,
Yeah.
let alone to somebody in another country, yet alone to a YouTube video. I guarantee you, I would have told you then you're crazy and it's never going to happen.
And one of those people has an accent.
And a northern one too.
Or, well, northern USA or northern Canada, we don't know.
Well, it's
We won't
northern
go
either way, however you want to go about it.
there. Well, we can slice this all day.
But 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I never would have done it. Never would have thought about it. Matter of fact, it's one of the last things I would have done. And that's part of getting out of your comfort zone. And it took me some positive thinking to get out of my comfort zone and to step forward and to be able to come on a Zoom talk like this, YouTube, and we can speak with you on a one-to-one level on everyday things. We're two tech guys talking about tech and better life.
It's talking about better life. 6 years ago, I went through some very, very, very stressful things that I didn't think I had the skill set to go through. I lost a job in oil and gas because the oil market crashed. Because of that, my wife abandoned me and my kids, so I got to raise two daughters, a teenage daughter and a 7-year-old alone. And I didn't think I had the skill set, but what I did have is a positive mindset. I started right then and said, no matter what happens, I'm just going to enjoy life and be thankful. We'll go through this. So, and just through the process, I've landed the job I have now, and I'm thrilled where I am because, I'm very lucky to be back with the company I'm at. And I have peaks of stress, but a lot of very, very enjoyable weather. Like tomorrow during my job, I have to drive through the mountains, a beautiful view in the middle of summer, drive through Banff and Lake Louise on the way to Golden, BC through some very beautiful mountains. And as you do that, what got me there was a positive mindset.
Yep.
Like I had a whole lot of things explode in my face, but I had to make it. A lot of that I had to get myself out of it, but I didn't put myself in the hole. From other people making poor choices created a mess in my life. I trusted too much in others, but life happens. You learn from it, you build, and you go on. And that's kind of part of the reason why I'm also here too. Is it's good to have a plan B in the bank, safety in the background, just in case.
So stepping forward there, Bruce, to help our viewers here.
Yeah.
On that positive mindset, what's a tidbit or a droplet that you could pick up that helped you in your skill that we can share to the people to say, hey, here's a starting point. That's one of the hardest things is getting started.
Well, for me,
on any journey.
For me, I am a spiritual person. I don't shove it down people's faces, but when I hit a crisis, I not only, it forced me to look within myself and believe that God or higher power, whoever, gave me is going to give me the strength and the ability to get through this. Mm-hmm. So no matter what's going to happen, doors and opportunities are going to come, but I am given the power to make the choices to change my life. And the choices I make today will affect my future.
Yep.
Now, the stuff I'm living through now is from either positive choices or poor choices I've made in the past. Yep. And right now, I made a choice that right here, right now, I'm going to change my life. It's not about money. It's about trying to right now in this part of my life is about trying to raise my kids and get them into college and through the lower grades and try and get all that organized. And I just found a lot of it was having a faith in God and also getting some positive input into you. Yes. And the most positive reading you can do, believe it or not, is the Bible. And there's some very powerful stuff in there.
There's some great stuff in there, and
a lot of miracles. A lot of miracles happen from nothing miracles happen. So you read that.
Yep.
If you're in the dark and nothing's happening, that's a good place to show you that you can believe that better things are coming.
Yep.
But it's still, if you want to be lucky, it's tied to a lot of hard work and a plan and moving forward. If you look at a farmer that sits at home and doesn't plant his seed and doesn't do any kind of work and doesn't have a plan, I bet you his fields are empty right now.
Yep. That's exactly
So,
right.
so if you want success, it's tied to a lot of hard work and a lot of planning.
Yeah.
If you don't plan and you just sit around and blame everybody else, the government taxes us too much. It costs too much to buy new tractors, or my tractors are broken, I can't afford to fix them. You just sit around and blame everybody else, and you don't do anything, you're not going to go anywhere.
Don't get the results. That kind of leads into my notes. I got a few notes that I took here
Okay.
before coming on today, Bruce, and this affects my positive thinking that I started over 16 years ago before I started business.
Yeah.
And how you think about your life and your business is the first part of success. And
Correct.
back then, I didn't fully understand it. I have a greater understanding of it 16 years later. My positive thinking about my life, my
Yeah.
business, my direction, and everything that went on back then, and the things that I wrote down in the books and the planning that I did and the direction and everything that set it all in motion on
Yeah.
those positive notes, those are still coming to sight today of the things that were sketched out back then as positive things. And that's
The
just,
choices you made in the past, you're reaping the rewards today.
and I am still seeing those things still coming to light.
Yeah.
That I visioned back then that were just vision things. So I got a couple, 2 or 3 more things here. I just want to say as tidbits that may help some other people.
Okay.
And I've got these from actually 2. They're sayings and some info that came from 2 great renowned speakers. One is Jim Rohn.
Yeah.
He's well known. One of them is Les Brown.
Yeah.
And,
Les is amazing.
yeah, both of them are. If you're
Yeah.
not advancing towards your goals as quickly or as easily as you hoped, it's time to address your skill set.
Mm-hmm.
And skill set comes back to positive thinking, mindset training. If you're not there, there's people out there like Jim Rohn. There's people out there like Les Brown. There's probably people in your community.
Yeah.
That all can be aids and helps to you in that process. Bruce and I will help any way we can. We're not we're 2 tech shop guys, okay? We're not masters in positivity and mind control and everything else and whatnot. We're 2 tech guys.
Well, I'm from Canada. I'm not allowed to talk about that.
And another is if you're, no matter what your skill is, you need to sharpen her to move forward. And
Yeah.
your vision is the first skill most people need to hone. In heading towards your vision is what I'm trying to say. Okay.
Yeah.
The first skill most people need to hone is your attitude.
Yes. Yes.
And attitude and positivity go hand in hand. One of the last factors that I want to leave on with today, and I think we're getting close to wrapping up here. At least my coffee mug's getting a little low, and
Yeah.
needs a refill. So I'm sure everybody else on here is willing to grab one too, and get their day started and to get
Yeah.
going. But you must either modify your dreams,
Yeah.
or magnify your skills.
Yeah.
So this week, I want to leave that into everybody's thought and mindset and positively thinking of where you're heading or where you're going. You may be in a rut. You may be stuck. You just may need to be re-energized, but you must either modify your dreams or magnify your skills, or maybe a combination of both, and get those set in motion on positively thinking. And let's see where it takes you this week. Do Bruce and I a favor. Drop down in the comments below your positive experience of what you took away from today. If there's a piece that just spoke to you, write that positivity note in there. If it later in the week, if it comes back, come back and leave us an explanation of something that we left off with you that helps us to carry our conversations and topics that was value to you. So we want to know if you're getting value from it. If you are, drop us a note that you're getting value. Drop us a heart, something, emoji, whatever flips your wig. Some people are emojis, some are words, some are positive. Let's all keep it happy. Let's all keep it positive. Bruce?
Thank you for that, Ross. And then also, too, in the description below, there's going to be both Ross's link and my link to click on, where you can go buy some healthy coffee. If you're in the United States, you can order right off the website there and order coffee, and it can be shipped right to you there. Or there's other products there. Please reach out to either myself or Ross, and we would definitely like to help you. Those people that are sitting there on the sofa, remember, we know 50% of people right now are obese and overweight. And you know, healthy coffee is like the first step. You can start changing just one thing, and that one thing can be the thing where you draw a line in the sand and say no more, and it can change your life.
And just to be clear in that too here, Bruce, you and I are not being paid here to do this today. Nobody's paying you to sit here on this. Nobody's paying me. We're just two guys with an idea and a vision, doing Tech Shop Coffee, that we want to bring value to you and offer opportunities to you that we know that work, we know that help people. And you know, we're not in that sense of doing this for money and value, but you know, if you do want to help us out, try some healthy coffee. That, you know, you're benefiting yourself. And then
we don't sell t-shirts.
Yeah.
We offer coffee that will change your life.
If you want to look into residual income, reach out to Bruce or I both, either one of us or both of us, doesn't matter how. We're here working together as a team, and we'll get those questions answered too. But we are happy that you joined us and stayed with us. I imagine some of these may be boring. We're hoping that they're full of value, and we're getting better at this as we do it more, and we'll bring something new and something great each week to you.
And thank you very, very much for sharing this time with us and drinking coffee and enjoying it. So cheers to all of you, and we'll see you next week. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel.
Over out. Have a great week, and glad you could make it. And we'll see you on the flip side.
Thank you very much.
Have a great
Thanks,
week.
Ross.
Yep.
You too.
Bruce.